Our guest for today is Muhammad Adli Yahya, who started a movement born out of necessity, acceptance, and love. He was worried about his son Lukman, who is neurodivergent, knowing that he would struggle to find his place in the workforce. That's when Adli decided to leave his executive life and founded the Autism Cafe Project. What started as a simple roadside stall has blossomed into a thriving social enterprise that empowers the autistic youth to earn a wage, connect with others, and most importantly, live an independent and self sustaining life. I'm in the presence of a very inspiring man today. Hi, Uncle Adli.
Hey, how are you there?
It's such a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
May I please start then to ask you,
Yeah,
how did you get the idea for the Autism Cafe project?
I have a son. His name is Lukman. He's now 26. He is, as I said, in the spectrum where those days he was basically non-functional. Meaning, if you ask him to sit over here and there's a fire in front of him, we just watch the fire and do nothing until you ask him, Lukman, get up and run. This kind of extreme, but this is how a non-functional individual like Lukman behaves, And he has challenges in terms of his intellectuality. He has challenges in terms of his physical ability, his thinking. So wrapping it up, I would say it's impossible for him to survive on his own. So I have to create something for him. This is my responsibility, not his doctor's responsibility, not his shadow's responsibility. It's my responsibility. So yeah, I set up a little project called the Autism Cafe Project. In the earlier stage, it was meant for him, but moving along, I saw so much benefit that he derives from the project. We open up to people like him, who is not highly functional, but not so severe. It's like neither here nor there kind of thing, But as I said, they need to survive. So I just group this particular individuals like Lukman and help them to sort out their future, basically. So that's how it started.
I see. How did you get the idea specifically of a
Cafe.
cafe?
Again, we have to go back to Lukman himself. As I said, Lukman have challenges. One of the many challenges that he has is, as I said, he is non-functional in those days. Yeah. So I had to think hard of how am I going to get him to survive on his own with minimal supervision, basically. So he is autism spectrum. We call it level 3, which you need assistance. I was grappling with him. What am I going to do with you? So as a father, you worried about your kids. Moreover, my son is like that. It triples the worriness. I have to think hard and I have to think out of the box. My son doesn't have so-called the extraordinary ability like you saw autism individual who can play music, Mozart, Bach, and whatever it is, and he doesn't have the ability to paint. Any extraordinary, he doesn't have that. We send him to school. We send him to music school, painting school, whatnot. Doesn't have any effect on him, So it forces me to think very hard. And I saw one of the many traits of autism. He loves repetitive work. He loves repetitive work and he loves water. I think the first one that I saw him, he loves water so much. He can spend hours just, at the sink and, plays with water, Yeah. He can do that for hours. He can spend hours in the swimming pool. So water is the key. When you get someone to do things that they love, it is not about getting it as chores. It's kind of, you're enjoying it. So water is the key for him. And doing repetitive thing is a key for him to move forward. So that's the flow of thoughts, So I decided, yes, he loves water. Get him to work with something water. He can wash the dishes, water-based. He can mop the floor, water-based. He can clean the t-shirts, whatnot, water-based. It has to be water. So he will enjoy it, And the three things that came into my mind was to create a small business of a cafe, a laundry business, and a car wash. Those three are water related.
Yes, exactly.
And I zero in if you saw the autism individual, basically they have social or communication issues. They can speak too much, they can speak, refuse to speak, or those who can't speak and unable to speak. And when you put them in a space where there's so many people, sometimes they isolated themselves. All these communication traits are quite visible to individual with autism. So communication is the key again. So I need for him to have an interaction with others. Simple interaction, doesn't have to be complicated. Simple interaction. Hi, would you like some water? Whatnot? No, those kind of simple stuff. Remember, Lukman can't speak. It's 90% nonverbal. So any simple conversation will do suffice. If I were to open up a laundry business, it will be just a simple, yes, water based, but a communication process will be, hey, hi, can I have this? And you're done. Minimal. If we were to open up a car wash, it's between him and the car that he washed. So it's very minimal. A car can't speak anyway, but I'm not quite sure in future they can speak, And the last one is the cafe, which is a perfect scenario where people can watch him, people can say hi, and kind of interaction with him. So we decided cafe is the best. Though we started off humbly, very humbly start off. We set up a table selling nasi lemak basically nasi lemak and kuih, simple stuff, But we have more to where we are now. I'm particularly pleased with it.
I love that the story of starting the Autism Cafe Project was more on exploring what Lukman enjoys.
Yeah.
And what he needs.
Yes. Yeah. You can't equate him as us. If we were given a task, like it or not, we have to complete it. But with them, you can't approach on that manner. It has to be something that they can explore. No point of him asking him to be in the reception area. He can't speak. Yeah. So it has to be at their level and a level that they can progress.
Yes, I agree. And how was, because you said you started very humbly on the side of the road. How was the strategy formulated, or what plan did you have?
When we started this project, there was no Autism Cafe at all. I was grappling with how to move forward, but I guess my previous work helped me a lot. I was in private sector those days, and the scenario those days, I guess, is similar to where we are now. It's either you swim or you drown. There's nothing beyond that. You perform or you don't perform. Out you go. So it kind of toughened me up and getting me to be a very strategic thinking person. Publicity is good. If it helps me, I'm more than happy to create one. So I sort of strategized the progress of Autism Cafe to be noticed by the public. I need that, I need their support. Without them knowing what we're doing, it's like, we shot sendiri lah, kind of thing, Yeah. So I need that, and I come up with a strategy that I knew where I'm heading with Autism Cafe, and I knew what to do. So basically, what we did was we need attention. I actually the first outlet that we did was at a center called I Am For You. I Am For You is one of the Malaysia's biggest volunteerism organization in Malaysia. I need to get their attention because the place provides me the attendance of the CEO, the CFO, the corporate company people. Once you get them to notice us, as I told you earlier, if the instructions coming up from the CEO, please work with this organization. Who dare to refuse? Reality is. So I cook up that strategy and it worked. But approaching them is always I will always prepare with silver bullets, so-called. I don't just simply go and sway my wing and over there and hey, can you just give me a space for me? I don't do that. So I come up with a proper presentation, whatnot, to show the seriousness of what I'm doing. And yeah, as I said, I'm pretty much pleased where we are now. Yeah.
I see. So it was a very strategic move of actually getting the attention of big organizations
Yes.
as well as the decision makers.
Yes, yes. As I say, like coming from the bottom to the top, it's quite a lengthy process, and then it can be frustrating. But if coming up from the top to the bottom, it's much faster.
Interesting.
Uh-uh.
And may I ask then about funding?
Funding. When we started this, I have no experience in FMP at all, zero. I can't cook. Maggie is the best thing that I can do. But I have to learn fast, lah. And my wife is there, so she is actually the backbone of the organization that we're heading now. I sold my car. I don't have much saving. Yes, I do, but not in 10 millions.
Of course.
But I do have savings, But I can't depend on my saving. It will deplete later on, So I have to cook up something strategy to actually sustain the business. As I said, when the starting off with this project, I sold my car and I used that to buy, fork and spoon, plates, chefing units, whatnot. It has to be there. I knew if I were to actually just rely on dine-in, it won't work. I can't just wait for people to come in. I have to do something about it, So we actually branch out into a simple catering. Simple catering, as I said, they can't do nasi bukhara or nasi minyak. They can't do that. They can do nasi lemak, bihu goreng, all those simple stuff we do. So we actually move into catering, which has actually served us very well. We do meal packs. We do meal packs for hospital, for the orphans, for the B40 family. So we chose that way. So we actually ran for our revenue. We don't just wait.
Right.
And it worked. Just to share with you, remember during pandemic?
Yes.
I think it was like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 years.
We actually hit the highest sale during that particular period.
Really?
Really.
How did that happen?
I have to be very resourceful and I have to think out of the box. I can't just rely on people coming in and, buy our product. I have to sell, The boys are good at working. They can work. But beyond that, they can't. They can't do like this.
Yeah.
They can't sell. They can't be a PR person. They can't. It's not within their capacity. So I have to take that void to fill up so they can be functional as when they are needed. They are working, thus they just can work. I sell, You can't go out during the pandemic, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's very restricted in a way, and I was imagining what's going to happen to the people in the hospital, the emergency. There was like the surge of patients coming
Yes.
in. I have a friend over there who says doctors sleep beside the longkang, whatnot. They have to be there all the time. The number was very high in terms of the people who were being affected by it.
Hospitals were at full
Yeah.
capacity.
So what we did was, hey, let's help them. So we find sources that people who wants to help them, you can buy 10 ringgit packet of nasi lemak, and we provide it to the hospital.
Oh, so you mean you let those to buy the nasi lemak from
Yes.
you to provide to the...
Right.
Okay.
So you do it that way, the boys are working.
Yes.
And besides that, they are helping others as well. Who would have thought that, they are able to help others?
Yeah.
So we created that. And as I said, I'm quite pleased in a way. We sold the highest sales throughout our existence was during the pandemic period.
Oh, that's remarkable. While supporting.
It always this, it's like we wanted them to be a functional individual, but they can't unless we provide them with the opportunity. So serving the frontliners, the doctors, the police and all, that helps them to be a functional individual. They are giving back to the society, which is that what I wanted to do with them basically.
And is that how your strategy has evolved from when you first started the Autism Cafe
Yes.
Project to what it is now? Is
Yeah.
it to give them more empowerment to become entrepreneurs themselves?
Right. You're on the spot. When we started this project was like basically getting them to earn their living. That is all. This is all I can see at this point of time when I started this. My son has to earn his living. He has to be on his own. But it has evolved in a way that it is not. It's just not just living, getting their monthly income. It is getting them to live their life to the fullest of their ability. So that's what I'm doing now. Yeah, earning money is good for them. But they have to be like us. They have to contribute back to the society. If possible, they could have their own girlfriend, ke, boyfriend, living like us.
Yes.
Riding a train, ke, whatnot. Something that they actually able to live. But the thing is, they are able to if we give them the opportunity. Because constructing the opportunity is not their forte at all.
Of course, that's on us.
Yeah.
May I then ask, because I read somewhere, Uncle Adli, that there was a time period where Autism Cafe Project was relying on donations,
Yeah.
and then after a while you became self-sustaining. So what was that transition like, and how long was it?
I think this, we, not really, we depends on donation. When we started this, the entire finance is on our own. We were so jimat cermat, Even buying a piece of cloth, I was like, shall I buy this? Shall I buy this? But what we did was, we didn't ask for any dollar and cents. But people do give us dollar and cents, there's no issue on that, But we are asking for them to actually provide us plates, cutleries, cloth, whatever it is that we can use to generate income. That is more important to us than rather than you give money to us. But I don't have any issue if you want to give money. I have no issue at all. 1.3 million you want to give to us, by all means. But as I said at the beginning, we thought of, you can donate, but donate us with something that we can actually derive income from it. So we did that. But as I said, entirely we are trying to be a self-sustained organization. That's why we don't set up the organization as an NGO. I don't mean to badmouth NGO because through my journey, an NGO in Malaysia always depends on donation. But I'm not putting every single NGO. But I came across quite a bit, let's wait for donation, If donations came in, fine. But what if it doesn't? So I don't want to be trapped into this scenario where let's take things easy. People will donate or not. I don't want to be like that. I want to be a self-sustained organization. If there is no donation, we can still survive based on our experience. And we know it forces us to think ahead of what to do if there's no indication of coming sales next month. So it forces us to think that way. And as I said, there are donations coming in. That's not stopping us from receiving it. But we are, I would say, able to sustain on our own. Even there is a minimum donations coming in.
Understand.
Yeah.
It's more of being self-sustaining.
Self-sustaining, yes, it is.
And then Uncle Adli, I want to talk about your past life
Oh.
and how you had to leave behind your stable income, the reputation and the success that you built
Yeah.
when you were an executive in corporate.
Yeah.
How did it feel to leave that behind?
This again, this is something personal, I had to. This is beyond my existence of being here. This is basically we're talking about my son's future. I guess I knew my son very well, and I knew if his future is not being constructed, I guess he won't be able to make it, as simple as that. So I knew. Then I can't do this part-time, so-called, let's work at the office and, half-time, let's work on his project. I can't do that.
Be too much.
It's too much and it won't do justice to the place that I work, I parted the organization in a good way. There's no malice, whatnot, It's simply that these are the things that I need to do regardless of my future, His future is more important than mine, He has another 40 years to go, whereas I probably have another 10 years to go. So his future is much on my concern. So I parted in a good way. And when you work in with big organization, your title goes with it,
Yes.
And I don't miss shopping overseas for Raya every time. I don't miss that, I think I'm way past that kind of a lifestyle. I don't crave for it anymore. Pasar Malam T-shirt will do. There's no issue of that. I parted with my professional life with a good sense that I'm doing this and it has to be done. It's not something extraordinary. To me, I felt that. Probably you felt differently, but to me, it's my responsibility. I have to do something for my son. He is my responsibility. Responsibility doesn't fall on his doctor or his sisters or whatnot. It's my responsibility, and I have to do it. So I don't miss anything in life, in my professional life. I kind of enjoy where I am now. I felt that, yeah, though it's late in life, but I have found a purpose in my life, where I crave for it, and I am so contented with working with them, because, when you work with them, you know that what projected from them is what's inside of them. There's nothing hypocrite about it, There's no backstabbing. They say it's black. When they saw it's black, they will say it's black. It's not us, probably a bit gray. It doesn't come that way. Sometimes it hurts when they say, but you have to take it as humorous as you can. I got the story of one of the boys. I'm not quite sure I've told you already. Because of my mixed parentage, I am this. So this one of the young men, ASD young men, works with us. He said, Uncle, you look like a Bangla.
Oh God.
But they saw and they just expressed what they saw. And my kids were there. They heard about it and then start laughing about it. The thing is, they are so innocent as they are, and they would just speak what inside their heart.
Yeah.
There's no malice, there's no bad intention, whatnot. So you kind of realize, hey, you are at peace working with them. No bad thoughts, whatnot. So I realize sometimes the reason why I am here is because of them. It came to me it just dawned to me, at late stage of my life, at the end of stage of my life, I found my purpose. So that's it.
It's beautiful. During your time in corporate, what lessons, experience, or skills did you bring along with you to support your journey with Autism Cafe?
Okay, I get a clearer picture. Yeah. During my career, I was in strategic marketing, corporate communication and stuff. I guess having years of work related to that, it helps me a lot in terms of charting the future of the Autism Cafe Project. So I basically knew what to do with the organization, where to bring it, and the steps should be taken in order to achieve those milestones. It helps me a lot. When I think about it, it's like, I hated those days at times, when we have problems, when we have challenges, it's like, what should I do? What should I do? Because you're the head and you can't just ask somebody else, you have to think creatively. So thinking creatively has actually helped me a lot, I always tell this when I had a talk and to my kids, when you meet obstacles in your journey, please don't look at it as a bad thing. Learn from it. Because those are actually going to build you up as a person you are now. If you don't go through this experience, you won't be the person as you are now. So don't treat any failure as a failure. Treat this as a challenge for you to move forward. So that helps me a lot.
Thinking creatively to solve that
Yeah.
problem.
Thinking out of the box in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what skills do you think that you're trying to cultivate for Lukman and the boys?
I think this, I just wanted them to survive without much dependable on others. That's all, you know. So what I did was, I taught them skills that is relatable, that is doable to them. Lukman can wash the dishes. I don't aim for him to be the CEO because it's not realistic.
Yeah.
And I don't aim to be him to be an admin assistant because it's not realistic. I lower down my expectation based on individual and based on their ability. For Lukman, as I said, I don't aim for him to be like, you know, the gazillion CEO, no. But someone who can wash the dishes, someone who can mop the floor, can sweep the floor, someone who can carry out dirty plates, bring it to the kitchen. I'm happy with that. And those who are slightly intelligent, if they can bake cookies, I'm fine with that. You don't have to bake 10 tiers of birthday cake, but a simple cupcake, that suffices. So I just want them to live their life based on the ability that is relatable to them. And when I saw them working on their own, you know, there's a heart inside of me said, you know, yeah, I've done my best. And seeing the result is like, I can't describe it to you. In those days, we earn 6 months bonus, 1 month bonus, that, and this is beyond that. You know, you have actually created a future for them. You know, we have changed their life. So the feeling is tremendously satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more rewarding than any
bonus. It is coming to the age of mine now. It's not about monetary sense, you know, it's about giving them hope, giving them future, you know, because can you imagine what you're doing? The parents, they have high hopes, you know, they have hopes for their kids to survive, you know. So you're giving a ray of hope to the parents as well. So there's a lot of people who is involved in this project, you know, and I can't thank God for, you know, matching them with us, with our journey. And I'm so glad that we met, and I'm so glad of the outcome now, you know.
May I ask then, because you shared earlier that you had no experience venturing into this.
Yeah, F&B.
F&B, and also I think in some ways leadership as well.
Yeah.
So what is your most trusted or most used source to learn?
I guess our boys, they have provided me ample of opportunity to actually explore and learn how to move forward with them, you know, be creative, you know. I give you a good example that all this involvement of them in my life has actually helped others, you know. We have one case of a parent who came over to us, you know. Her daughter is in a spectrum as well, similar with Lukman. Nothing special about their ability, whatnot, you know. And she came and cried, you know, she don't know what to do. So learning from them, from Lukman and his friends, so I asked her, what is the most lovable thing that she wanted to do in her free time? And as strange as it seems to be, the mother said she will roll up the paper and cut the paper using scissors. Okay. And the length is all the same. Incredible, isn't it?
Yes. Without measuring.
Without measuring.
I see.
You know, so she loves to actually cut things. This is where the creative thinking, you know, popped up because of because I've mixed around with them quite a bit, you know, thinking out of the box. You know, I told them, Machi, you know, there's a Malay kuih, we call it kuih gunting. So I said, Machi, why don't you do this kuih gunting? She can cut as many as she wants, and you don't need a machine. She will cut it at same size.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I haven't follow up with her lah. But I hope she will do that, because as I said lah, you give them something that is relatable to them. She loves gunting. Get her to cut. Same as Lukman. We just discovered this sometimes early this year. Sometimes I overlooked. Underestimate. I learned this. Never to underestimate. Never to actually seek right opportunity. No. I underestimate him. He has this. The agak-agak skill. Agak-agak. What's it in English? Estimation.
Measuring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we did was, I saw him. We did this kuih bakar, little kuih bakar like cupcakes. So whenever you fill up the mold, it has to be 3/4, be it with kuih bakar or be it with cupcake. It has to be 3/4. If it is too much, it will become boom like this.
Yeah.
If it is too little, it become boom like this. So it has to be right amount. He did this with such finesse. Every single measurement is 3/4. So the product that produced, it's the same. It does that. The height is similarly at the same height. So I make that to a good use.
Yeah.
Simple as it is, but it forces you to think creatively, and it forces you to make a decision that actually benefits them. So yeah, he can pour as much as you want. He loves anything repetitive. That is repetitive, and it helps that he has that agak-agak skill that I can properly utilize that.
I love the term agak-agak.
Agak-agak, I know. I read that somewhere in who was that master chef? Gordon
Ramsay.
He was working with a Malaysian chef, and Malaysian chef was like, he was asking how much to put this, how much you have to put this, how much you have to put this, or the ingredient to make tom yum, if I'm not mistaken. And the Malaysian chef said, agak-agak lah, So this is a simple agak-agak skill that you can actually utilize and build up his future.
And I remember when you gave me the cookies as well. They were exactly the same size.
Yeah.
It was the most organized cookie I've ever seen.
Lukman, as I said, Lukman loves anything repetitive. So that repetitive skill, we put in full works. We get him to put cookies in the bottle. So he did arrangement astonishingly neat.
It's so beautiful.
I can't. But he did it in a way that it was so amazing to see when you saw the bottle and it's neatly done.
Yeah.
So as I said, make full use of what is ability. It may be simple, but it's upon us to actually create an opportunity. So you have to think hard and you have to think out of the box.
It's like you're bringing out the extraordinary in the ordinary.
You are so spot on that. Bring out ordinary,
the extraordinary
from the ordinary.
Yeah.
On the spot. On the spot.
Yeah. May I ask Uncle Adli, throughout your journey with Autism Cafe Project, what was your biggest obstacle that you had to overcome?
I'll be lying if it's not financial issues lah. It's always that. But as I said lah, I am strategic thinker. I would say so. I address that 10 steps ahead, just to make sure that we have minimal financial issue. There is always will be. In business, it's always up and down. It's not always on, bed of roses every day. But it is not. It's always up and down. So we mitigate when we expect the next 3 months that will be slow in order. We start planning and executing strategy that can help us. I would say that is a norm of business that we're doing now. This I have to say, the hardship of doing this business, the challenges. It sounds petty, but in those days, it actually clouded my mind. You can't please everybody. There are, as much as we wanted our project to be like, there are those who doesn't like our project for whatever reason it is, and I had to deal with gossip mongers. It came to me. For instance, Cik Adli tak bayar gaji lah, budak-budak, no allowance were given to them. You take full advantage of them, and you're not giving my son a full attention, whatnot, from the parents as well. And a lot of things like, there's one, which is, we organize bazaar for them. So I'm charging 1,000 over for one table, which I don't know where it came from. But listening to those gossip and those the untruth facts about us, it hurts. At times, those days I felt like, why should I do this? It hurts me a lot because I'm not doing what you're saying. I just rather, pull out the project and just focus on my son. That's all. It really hurts. It really hurts. But I learned my lesson. It's like, why bother? Don't bother about it. You put yourself in a huge stress. You just let it go. They can talk. You can't stop them. In the end, I would say this: you are answerable to the one and only mighty being there, the one who's upstairs. You are answerable to that. I don't want to think about it. It clouded my judgment. It clouded my focus. You can talk as much as you want. If I heard it, it'll come from here. It'll go out from here. I couldn't be bothered. Let my work speaks about it. So, as I said, those days it hurts. I have no issue, to be honest with you, lah. I have no issue of unfriend, block. I have no issue on that. To me, at this point of my life, I just want a peace, a serene mind of mine. I need to protect that. So I couldn't be bothered. As I said, I have no issues. This is a side of me, which I have no regrets, whatnot. Unfriend, block, done with it. You can talk as much as you want. I don't want to know about it. But as I said, sometimes it gets to you, lah. But I don't dwell into it anymore. Yeah.
I think it's about letting go and also
letting go. Yeah, I am
people
very
will talk.
much. People talk. You can't.
You do something good or you do something bad or you don't do anything. People will
I
talk.
had this a good friend of mine. She said, Cik Adli, let it be lah. Sometimes kita buat ABC pun dia orang tak suka. Let it be, so let it be. I couldn't care less. But as I said, those days it poses quite, it clouded my judgment. Sometimes it put me in stress, but not anymore. I don't do that anymore. I just do what I felt good, what I felt true, what I felt I should do, and he knows. As simple as that. Those two are actually challenges lah, but as I said lah, I've overcome those from financial point of view. I am a very strategic thinker. From the gossiping and all, as I said, I'm much ease with myself. I know what I'm doing. He knows what I'm doing. That's fine enough with me.
Nice. And what about for Luqman and the boys? You've seen them go through their own obstacles as well. What do you think was the most challenging part for them?
I think this getting them in general. For Luqman, the plan is for him to work in this outfit, Autism Cafe Project. But for others, I don't want to be selfish. I don't want them to work their entire life at Autism Cafe Project because they have potential. They need to earn a lot more than what they are earning now. It's and as I said, being selfish, I could have retained them. But what I did was with this, I structure their future. Those who are good, I train them to be either entrepreneurs or train them to work elsewhere where they can have a minimum salary of 1,500. As I said, for entrepreneur side, I get them to actually master at least one skill, one simple skill. Like, the cookies that you tasted before, a simple cookies like that. A bottle of lemonade, simple stuff. Which they can do from their home, where the environment is more suited to them. So they make, and I will sell on their behalf. So I have created an entrepreneurs out of them. And this one, in general, they earn about four-figure salary now from the business, from my side, not from others. So I'm happy with that. And those who doesn't like to be an entrepreneur, we train them to be a simple workers, so-called, and we get them to actually master like washing the dishes, preparing, to put in, to place in nasi lemak or to package nasi lemak or whatnot, And we find a place for them to work. Currently, we are working together with Citytel Hotel and Uncle Rogers. So with Citytel Hotel, these are the plot where we train them to be an entrepreneurs. They make, we sell, and we get those who are able to speak to man the table, which is at Citytel Hotel now. So they earn their living from there as a business person. And for Uncle Roger, Lukman works there once a week.
I've seen some videos. It's very cute.
As I said, nothing complicated, simple stuff. So we get them to work over there. And there's another boy by the name of, I can't recall what is his name.
That's okay.
Blame it on the age,
It's
Adib,
fine.
now I remember Adib. Get them to work over there and get them to taste this real life of what are you going to expect in the future, So they are working there once a week and they are earning their living from there, So as I said, I've learned from them a lot, and I've learned how to craft their future based on their ability and based on their opportunity.
What limiting beliefs that you had to leave behind to become this person that you are now?
I guess this, sometimes, looking at Lukman, I felt hopeless. As I said, with his ability is like this, with limitation and all, I felt, hopeless, there was hopelessness in me, like, I can't do much, But, I have to put that aside, because I can't, in order for me to change his future, I have to think creatively, I have to think hard and, accept him as he is. Those earlier days, there wasn't an acceptance issue, but I have to accept him as he is. He can't be somebody else, he is as he is. Lukman is Lukman. So I have to think a way for him to move forward with his whatever ability that he has. Not as many as others, but very, very little, but something doable for him. So it forces me to think, to actually move forward with that. And it forces me to think differently in terms of managing success. Those days, with my career intact those days, it's always the numbers that matters most, it's always the number. The number doesn't lie. That is a measurement of your success. And the measurement of my success for my kids are the grades.
Yeah.
Straight A's. I am not satisfied if you don't get straight A's. Or majority A's, I was really that narrow thinker, but having Lukman, having the boys with me, forces me to think differently. Success, you shouldn't be measured as in numbers or grades. Success to me means unable to lift up A beats for his bracelet making, lifted up A beats from unable to, now he's able to lift a beads. Because last time, the fine motor skill was not there. He couldn't pick up the beads, Can you imagine the frustration that I have, What shall I do, So now he's able to pick up the beads. He's able to put in the soft wire. Now he's able to create on his own bracelet. So to me, success I have to leave the success factor from previous understanding to where we are now. To me, success is from unable to be able to. As simple as that. Those boys, especially Mal, taught me a lot. They are by far the greatest teacher that I've ever crossed in my life. You can't learn this from university. University always says like, you have to you have to be very, very empathy, whatnot. No, those are taught. I am actually running through the journey with them. And running through the journey with them has taught me this, a real life teacher.
It's very different than learning it just as a fact or as a theory
Yes.
in moral class.
Right. Yeah. You went through the experience and you just realize what this is. You know, sometimes life, as I said, can be very surprisingly, can be a very surprising journey. As I said again, I told you earlier, those days you thought failure is failure. That's the end of the world, but it actually leads to where you are now. I've learned my lesson.
Yeah. And you've shared so much about Luqman and the boys and the limitations that they have had to overcome to a certain degree.
Yeah.
How do you think that they have managed to do that? For example, you said Luqman with his fine motor skills and now being able to weave bracelets.
Yeah.
What do you think is a big driving factor for them to overcome, to a certain degree, those limitations?
I think support and non-stop support is one of the many huge factors. You can't be disappointed when they can't do it, because you have to bear in mind they have this kind of a limitation. There's always a method where you can overcome those. It forces you to think creatively. I'm not a professor. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a dad for Luqman, and I have this experience. I'm utilizing it. My way might not be correct to others, but as far as, because autism is basically individually that different. So my method may be successful for, say, Adrian, but might probably not to others. I guess, as I said, the support has to be there. When they make a slightest progress, I was like praising that like nobody's business. And I noticed they are very, very observant. They may be less attentive, but they are very observant, and you need to encourage those. And you have to create a scenario where they have to, let's say, they have to speak. We have a boy who refused to speak. He can speak, but he refused to speak. So I have to create a scenario where he has to speak.
Oh, how do you do that?
Okay. For example, the Citytel hotel that we are having now, on the table we sell mugs, we sell bracelet, whatnot, and we practically put someone who is in that category, able to speak but refuse to speak. And what we did was, there's no price tag, there's no explanation of what product is this or not, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So the customer comes in and he will ask them. And he has no choice with nobody helping him. He has to explain.
Yeah.
We have a good success on that. We have a couple of boys who are, as I said, they are able to speak but refuse to. Now they are speaking like normally like us. And I have to tell you this one story. Again, I'm not putting up Luqman there, but I think it's a good example of, I would say, a hopeless case to where he is now. We had this event over in a hospital called Park City Medical Center. We used to sell, open up table and sell nasi lemak, And I pack nasi lemak because Luqman doesn't have the concept of understanding of nasi lemak. Nasi lemak, you have to have nasi lemak, you have to have anchovies, you have the sambal, whatnot, And so whenever customer order, I just put it, packed it, and asked him to close the packing, And Luqman, as I told you earlier, he and the rest are very, very observant, and kind of underestimate him in a way. So one fine day we were there, and an old friend of mine came in, and we haven't seen for ages, So yeah, we talked, and then suddenly there's one lady came in and asked for 2 packets of nasi lemak. It just blurted out from my mouth. I said, Luqman, can you prepare 2 packets of nasi lemak? And I continue, talking to my colleague, enjoying our time, I saw the kakak was asking, dah siap ke? I said, so I turned around, and lo and behold, I saw 2 packets of nasi lemak.
Fully packed.
Fully packed. I feel like shouting to the world, "Hey, my son packed nasi lemak," But as I said, we put them in. I guess this is by accident. We put him in a scenario where he has to observe, and from there he has managed to do on his own. The opportunity sometimes, I felt this. I believe the Almighty will help us one way or another. And this is the many ways that He has helped me. So I'm so thankful for that.
It's jam packed with so many lessons there, from positive reinforcement to support to creating an environment where they can observe and do themselves, and also sometimes creating an environment where they're forced to go out of their comfort zone.
Lukman, as I said, has shown so much progress that sometimes I can't believe that he's able to do this. I am much a result-oriented person. Those days when I sent him to school, I marked his progress just to make sure, and he was nowhere. And I actually tiptoeing myself to the classroom, hiding behind the pillars, hiding behind the garbage bin. I don't want the teacher to see me. I just want to see exactly how the teacher taught him. So I guess this, with the right approach, with the right technique, I think sometimes the impossible is possible. It's just that I think you have to think creatively, and you have to put your 100% mind to it, and think as what they are thinking. Teach them based on their learning skill, not how we are teaching others, but specifically for this person. I think that makes a huge difference.
And I think we've been talking about people on the spectrum, but
Yeah.
I think this information is actually very useful to even neurotypical people as well.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Knowing what you know now, Uncle Adli, if you were to go back in time, what would you do differently?
This is a bit personal, my journey with Lukman is not as simple as it is. In the earlier stage, the pre-acceptance time, it was a very difficult time for us. I was basically this dad with huge ego, to be honest with you, huge ego. And I wanted to have a perfect family with him, my daughter, my son. I can play with him football. The Asian punya culture, always the boys, first, I wanted him to have a full life with him, enjoyable life, like him, playing football, playing badminton for that matter. Football, I can't. I don't understand football. But play badminton, jogging and all, and he has as his present those days couldn't provide me those. So there was an acceptance issue. I can't accept him. So that was started the very, very incredibly bad journey for us. He was so scared of me. I kind of despised him. So what's happened next. There was full of physical and mental abuses we have inflicted on him. And he suffers. I wish I could turn back the time and be a different father for him. More supportive. More understanding what this autism is all about. And I wish I could change that, because he suffers quite a bit. He suffers quite a bit. And till today, the scars are not properly healed. Emotional scars is always there. Every time, sometimes I tap in his shoulder, he was like, he's scared. So those are the moments that I wish I could turn back the time and be a different father, be a supportive father. But as I said really earlier, bad experience actually built the person. If it doesn't happen those days, it doesn't happen, I won't be myself as I am now. So bad things happen, I guess, probably for a purpose. And I just wish that I could have done it much better than it was before. But life is as such that you learn your lesson and you just move forward. You can't change the past.
Uncle
So
Ade, I don't think you need to change the past, because I feel like you already are becoming this person who's a supportive and loving dad.
yeah, I guess You know, sometimes you have regrets in your life that I wish I shouldn't do that, you know, to him, you know, but life is such, it happens, yeah, bad things happen, you know, large obstacles and here and there, but it meant for a purpose.
Thank you very much.
Most welcome.
Uncle Adi, I have one last random question for you. If you were given 100 ringgit and were told that to use this 100 ringgit to make someone's life better, how would you spend it?
I would use this to create their future. You know, I wouldn't give them this 100 ringgit. You can spend it and go and for a movie, whatnot. For a good example, if I have a boy named Adrian, I would get him to buy flour, butter, whatnot, and make on his own, and give it to me, and I will sell it to him. You know, you have created from 100 ringgit, probably you have created another 500 ringgit out of that. You know, so give them a raw fish rather than give them a fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very in line with your way of running the Autism
Yes,
Cafe
I think
Project.
so. I think so.
Before we leave, Uncle Adi, please share with the viewers how they can find you and support you.
I am available at our social media, which is the Autism Cafe Project, one word. In FB, there is Autism Cafe Project Malaysia, and both accounts, the contact numbers are there. They can contact me through WhatsApp or through just give me a call and support us in terms of not giving money. But as I said, if you have extra money of 1 million, you want to donate to us by all means, you know, but you know, buy our product. Because once you buy, you are actually help us to sustain the project and you get the boys to work. Because if there's no buyer, there's no work. So support us. Yeah.
And I've tried one of your products and it was delicious. So
Thank you so
100%
much.
endorsed.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It
Thank you.
was really such a pleasure to speak with you
Thank
today,
you.
Uncle Adli.
Thank
And
you.
for those out there listening, if you've enjoyed this conversation, please give this video a like, drop a comment on which was the most interesting part for you, and share this with somebody who needs a little dose of inspiration. Thank you. Hey, did you enjoy the episode? If you're looking for more interesting conversations like that, check us out on YouTube and Spotify at Out of Office for Good. And while you're at it, might as well follow us on Instagram and TikTok as well at Out of Office for Good Pod. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.